Good morning. I'd like to start off this morning and welcome you back to the shop as usual, or of course, you're always welcome here. We also picked up a few more subscribers over the weekend and I'm very grateful. Welcome to the channel. I hope you continue to watch and like what you see. And if there's anything else you'd like to see, just leave it in the comments and I'll do my best to accommodate you. But anyway, like I said, the new block is up here on the stand. The old block is now a paperweight. I tried to pull the valve guides out of the old block, but they were in there really tight, so I had to drive them out. And what I mean by driving out, I've already got one out of here so I could show you. Anyway, what I did was I took a 5/16 bolt, which is the perfect size for the valve guide. There's no play, just the hair, but it's okay. What I did was I took a flat punch and put it on top of the bolt head, and I used a hammer to drive them out. And don't panic, because when you're installing your valve stem guides in the block, that's the way you install them. You drive them in. Now, when I get ready to drive the new ones into this block, I'm going to make a tool for it. And it pretty much works just like this, but what I'm going to do is the outside of the driver handle is going to be larger diameter than the valve guide. And there'll be a little end on it that will actually slip into the valve guide. This helps keep everything straight as you're driving it in. And the reason I'm going to go with a larger diameter than the valve guide, so that when I drive it in, it stops. It doesn't go past the lip here, which it shouldn't. So it'll stop flush with the top of the lip there, and I'm good. So anyway, like I said, I've already got that one out so I could show you and explain to you what I'm doing. And it's just as simple as this. Slide that into your valve guide, take your flat punch, and you're gonna have to get just a little bit to get it started, so don't worry. Okay. And I don't know if you can see it well or not, but that's not even damaged, because all your striking force is absorbed by this, the head of the bolt, so you're okay. But still, you need to be careful. So anyway, we'll go ahead and finish it on out. All right, I've got number 4 to do, so I'm gonna just pause the camera here and get the last 2 out. But like I said, you know, it can be done. Just take your time, be patient. You're not hurting the valve guide and stuff. And like I said, when they're installed in the block, you have to drive them in anyway. So it's fine. Excuse me, coffee. Anyway, so that's it. I'm gonna pause the video, like I said, and drive this last one out, and then I'm gonna get everything set up, and we're gonna start measuring the journals and stuff on the crank, and do the lobes and the journals on the cam. And so stay tuned. I'll be back in just a few. All right, we're back, and I've got everything situated. I've got my micrometer. I've already got it set to 1.623 thousandths, which is almost 1 5/8 inches. It's 2 thousandths less. So anyway, your front main journal, center main, and rear main need to read anywhere from 1.623 to 1.624. Now, when I pulled the bearings out, they all had standard stamped on the back of them. So that means that should read anywhere from 1.63 to 2.64. So, and you want to take a measure. Okay, we're 1.623 right there, and then I'm gonna come about 180 degrees. Hold this up, and we're good. Okay, that's a little tight because I'm actually leaving a mark. So I'm gonna do it this way. All right, I am exactly, 1.623 on that one. So write that down. I did bring my service manual too because I did have everything written down in here, but I also wanted to bring the service manual just in case. All right, so my front one is 1.623, okay? Now, this one, the center, all right, I'm loosening it up and I'll measure it again. Do it this way. All right, I'm 1.623, and then I'm gonna hold it up like this. And come down to, there we go. You want to keep your pins flat on your journal, and we're 1.623. I'll do this one while I've got it up here. 1.623. .623, so we're good. I can go back with standard bearings for all three mains, so that's good news. And I'm gonna double check all the bearings that I pulled out because, like I said, it was just like maybe a little piece of grit or something got in there. They weren't damaged that bad or really damaged at all. Excuse me. And like I said, the journals look pretty good. It's probably where they just, during the initial startup, because it's not really bad. So I'm good with those. All those are 1.623. Now, rod journals, you're going to do the same thing. These should be anywhere from 1.498 to 1.499, which is a little less than 1.5 inches. So I'm going to roll this back to, okay, there's 1.5 inches. So we're going to see. And you're going to do these the same way. See. Oh, no wonder. Had it in the oil galley. Okay, this one says 1.497. This one is halfway between 1.497 and 1.498. And you are allowed 1/1000 or 2 clearance. So we should be good there. but I'm going to double check my service manual, and I always suggest go by the book. Now this one is it's almost 1.497. Let me check it again. Yeah, we're 1.497. A little over 1.497. Let me check them here. Yeah, 1.497. We're going to check the last one. That's 4.98. Do it this way. $498. Okay, so that's good news. The crank is within tolerance. We can go back with all standard bearings on here. 4, 3, and 2 were 1/1000 under, and number 4 was right at 1.498. So, all right, write all that down so I don't forget it. Okay, I'm back. I found it easier to measure them with the camera off. Okay, so anyway, I'm gonna show you how to measure the lobes on the cam. You've got 2 measuring points. You've got from the bottom of the lobe to the top of the lobe, which is your lift. And you measure from side to side. Now, what you do is you take the side to side reading and you subtract it from the bottom to the high point of the lobe or the lift. And that'll give you your amount of lift. Now, I don't know if you can see it clearly, but you can see right here, this one's got a little bit more round and this one is a little bit more sharp. And it's all the way down the cam. So, you know, your lift and for your intake and exhaust is going to be a little different. But anyway, the clearance, the total amount of lift required is 232 thousandths per lobe on the cam. And I went through, and the lowest one I've got is, I've got 2 at 227, which is these 2 right here. But as long as you are above 210 thousandths duration of lift per the service manual, you are good. So if your lift is right at 211, 210, you need to go in and change your cam because it's almost wore out. So right now I'm averaging anywhere from 227 to 232 thousandths of lift. So this cam is still good. So that's going to be it for the video. Thank you. I know this one was a little long, and I do appreciate you watching. And I'd like to say thanks again to all the new subscribers. I really appreciate it, and I hope you stay tuned. The Alice Chalmers showed up, and it's just paint work, I promise. I'm not changing colors of tractors. I mean, from all red, I'm going to stay red. So anyway, I'm going to be doing some paint work and stuff on that so I can continue to move on with the Cub project. And we'll see you on the next video, and welcome again to the channel to all the new subscribers. Have a good evening.